What's going on, guys? Alex over at 814 EDC, and today I have a couple unboxings to do for you guys. Got one package coming in from White Mountain Knives, which is a knife that I purchased. I feel like I haven't purchased a knife for a while, and I was getting kind of the itch for one, so I went with a budget option that I've kind of had my eye on for a while. So pretty excited about that one. And then we also have a package coming in from Mr. Brian over at BEDC. And this one is, of course, via the Lefty passaround group. And this is a Ferramonster Valkenm, I think, and a actually White Mountain Knives Sailfin, which we'll get into that in a second. Unboxing knife is my Rivery Manufacturing Zero. Still loving this little thing. Just a great all-around EDC tool. You know, it's fun to fidget with, fun to just drop in your pocket. And it just makes a really good addition to your, everyday carry. So that is the unboxing. And we're going to get into this package from White Mountain Knives. I ordered this, what was it? End of last week sometime. So like I said, I was getting kind of antsy. Like I hadn't bought a knife for a while. I've been, if you guys have been watching the channel for, the last probably a year or so, I've been trying to get, be really good about my knife purchases and don't do anything like, spur of the moment, think through your purchases and just try to be, better financially with it. Because, everything's expensive right now and my money could be going towards other good things that, my wife and I could be using. But I had some money in my Sezzle and I was like, you know what? I want a knife. I want to buy a knife. And I went ahead and ordered. Why can't I open this dang thing? Cut the hood in there. I hate these stupid packages. Just gonna rip it open. Sometimes these packages just do not want to work for me. There we go. And I went with a knife. Like I said, it's from a budget company. A company that I really hadn't known much about previously to about a month ago or so. And I actually saw someone, I think in like the Everyday Blades Facebook group or something like that, post about it. And then I followed them on Instagram and I looked into them a little bit more and I thought they looked like a good brand of value knives. You guys can see right here, Defcon. So I think they've been around for a few years, but I went with so it's the TD015RD. RD standing for red, so it's the TD015. That is the model that I went with. But I believe they call this the Tier 2. At least on their website, it's called the Tier 2. I went with White Mountain Knives, obviously. And I'll leave a link to it down below in the description. But this is like a $45 knife. I went with the red aluminum. Has a button lock and a like 3.3 inch 14C blade. And like I said, I was just getting kind of the itch for something new. And, obviously this isn't going to break the bank. Like I said, as of recently, whenever I get gas, the couple gas stations I go to, because I have the Sezzle app on my phone, because obviously, knife life. But you can earn like money back. So every time I, fill up my wife's car, fill up my car, and I use my card that's attached to the Sezzle account, you get, 15% back, 20% back, 25% back sometimes. So you get a couple bucks here and there. And then usually I just save it to, put it towards something knife related for me personally. So that's what I did. And I had like 25 bucks in there. So I think I ended up spending like 13 bucks on this knife. But here it is, guys. I think it looks really good. Again, it's aluminum. You have the Defcon logo right there, button lock. It's very like reminiscent of kind of what a Civivi would be, but nice loop over style deep carry clip that is reversible. Thumb stud. Beautiful blade shape. Again, 14C. I would assume it's PVD coated or DLC coated. But just a really nice size. Nice and thin. Comfortable ergos. No jimping up top, but honestly, I don't need it. Button is there we go. Very smooth. A little bit of grittiness. It's starting to wear out, honestly, already. No blade play, but it's just a nice, simple budget knife. As much as I love, getting some of that oil off the blade, as much as I love, the premium knives, it's honestly, it's a little bit hard for me to, afford them all the time and buy them. I can't be dumping all this money into, as much as I would like to, into knives. So knives like this just kind of, you know, scratch that itch for me. And again, 14C aluminum, I love that combination. So for 40, or it was 45 bucks, used Lefty's code, so it took it down to like 40 bucks. And then, like I said, I had like 25 bucks in Sezzle, so I ended up using like, I think this cost me like $13. But from, you know, from the factory, 45 bucks, I think that's a great deal. I'm excited to get into it. And I think there's a place for budget knives in everyone's collection. You know, there's still, especially at the rate that they make budget knives at these days that are just so well done. I mean, a couple years ago, you're spending 50 bucks for D2 and FRN. And now you can get aluminum 14C and, you know, really good blade shape, very nice handle shape, very comfortable, great great button lock action. And I know button locks are kind of like, man, they were kind of like the whole craze like a year or two ago, but everyone's kind of past them. But again, I just wanted something different. And I actually saw Cole over at Tri-State EDC. He reviewed, I believe it's the same knife, but it's the purple one. And he, you know, again, for $45 said it was really good. He liked it. So that kind of made me, you know, want to purchase it a little bit more. So yeah, that is the Defcon Tier 1. Full review will be coming on this one probably in the next month or two, maybe a little bit more, depending on how much I have in from the pass around. But I'm really liking that budget model right off the bat. So that is the Tier 1. And let me get the 0 here to get into the package from Mr. Brian over at BEDC, which of course I will leave a link to his channel down below. Please go check him out. Brian is a great guy in the knife community. Always love chatting with him, talking to him. And he's just a really good dude. Okay, where is... These packages are testing me today, guys. Maybe here, maybe there. I really don't want to rip this one because I'd more than likely just reuse it for the pass around. There we go. Pop it open. Let's set this down here actually. There we go. Man, just one of those days. Happy Monday. If I didn't say that already, I'm filming this on Monday. You guys will be seeing this today. Got a full week of reviews. I have 2 more packages coming in from the pass around. And then I have a pretty exciting knife that I actually bought. I just kind of went and said how I'm trying to be better about my knife purchases. But I did buy a knife that has not been released yet. I was able to reach out to the retailer that's selling the exclusive version that I wanted. And I had that coming in. I think he said he was going to be shipping it out today. So hopefully by the end of this week, more than likely you guys will be seeing it next week. Because again, I have this unboxing is going to go up today. Then I have a full week of reviews. I think I have 5 review videos I need to bang out. And then I have another unboxing at some point of 2 other Lefty Passaround Group packages that are coming in. But this specific one, we got the Sailfin, which is a White Mountain Knives, kind of like their first exclusive model. Patty's Knives is a designer behind it. And I believe KB Knives or Kubi was the OEM on it. And this one's really cool. I almost bought this one a few times. So I got a nice White Mountain Knives cloth in there. This one has really nice milled titanium scales. I believe it's LMAX on the blade. Hole and stud combo. And it's just a really good size now that I'm actually feeling it in hand. But there we have the Sailfin. Again, look at that beautiful milling. I think that there's 2 versions. This one and I think a lighter titanium. But I'm glad I got the darker one in because it just looks really good. Reversible milled titanium pocket clip. You got the back spacer and the lanyard loop built in there. Again, thumb stud and hole combo. Just a really, really nice, very usable blade shape. Again, I think this isn't, yeah, it's an LMAX. There we go, right there. Fits in the hand really, really nicely. I believe this is like just over a 3-inch blade. Got a frame lock on there. A little bit of blade play. I might try to tighten that up because obviously right now the action is really, really good. And I would assume it to be good even once I tighten it up. But just fits in the hand really well. Honestly, very lightweight. You have a ton of internal milling here on the show scale side and then have a little bit on the frame lock side, but very lightweight And yeah, like I said, this was something that I was really interested in buying a couple of times. And then once I saw Kevin, it got added to the passaround. I was like, I'll wait. But honestly, like, I really like it. The milling feels great right off the rip. Again, great size, very usable blade shape. Hollow ground blade. Just a really, really nice model. And it's cool to finally see, you know, Justin over at White Mountain kind of take a step forward with selling, you know, White Mountain knives. You know, that's my favorite retailer to get stuff at. And seeing him, you know, obviously it's a Patty's Knives design, but seeing it be licensed as a White Mountain Knives knife is really cool. So really liking that one. I can't wait to get this one in pocket and to check it out more. And then, of course, we have another Ferramonster. So I think that this, no, take that back. There are two Ferramonsters. So you have the Xandros and the Costa, I think. But the Xandros is the one I'm really, really excited for. It's one of the newest models. This is, I think, like the third newest. But it is the Valkenm. There we go. You guys can see titanium with carbon fiber inlays. Nebula fat carbon, which is pretty cool. And I think this one is a flipper stud combo. You guys know how a Ferramonster package is constructed. Of course, you have the slide, the box, the taco style package, and then of course the info card and all that jazz in there. So here we have the Valkenm. Overall length 7.95 inches, blade length of 3.46. M390 titanium with carbon fiber, and then clip and screws are also titanium. So give that a gander. Oh, I forgot this one had the speed holes. So there is the Valkenm. Again, speed holes right there. It does have the flipper and stud combo. Really like that inlay of Nebula fat carbon. Nebula is probably a top two, top three. Honestly, probably top two. I really like Nebula, and I really like... So my top three are Nebula, probably Purple Haze, and I'm drawing a blank what the last one is. It's like red and black. It's kind of it's not as used as much, but whenever it is used, it looks really, really good. I know KB Knives did a couple models with it. I cannot think of off the top of my head what it's called, but Nebula is awesome. Backspacer and lanyard loop. You have a non-reversible pocket clip. Great action. Nice. It's kind of a clip point style blade. It's like a clip point and a drop point. M390 blade. Ferramonster just does such a good job. Ergos, really, really nice. You get a bit of jimping up top here. Of course, you have a frame lock. No blade play. Buttery smooth action. detent is on point with this one. Feels great. Flipper tab. Feels good. I could probably go without the flipper tab, and I think that this knife would be... Maybe like that would be my preference, is probably just having the flipper tab off of there aesthetically, and you know, from a user standpoint, because the detent is just so strong and so snappy on the thumb studs, as well as the reverse flick, or the thumb flick versus the reverse flick. But the flipper tab does fine. Just doesn't thunder out as much as the studs do. But regardless, still a really cool knife. Again, you guys know Ferramonster just makes a killer product. They are pretty much, what do they have out, like 8 or 9 models at this point, and they're pretty much 8 for 8, 9 for 9, whatever they have. I mean, they just, everything they come out with is really, really cool. And I've been excited to check this one out. Really like the inlay. Design is pretty cool as well. But yeah, overall, really excited to get this one in pocket. Really excited to get this one in pocket. And also, really excited to get this one in pocket. This is my knife, so it might be a little bit of time before I spend a whole lot of time with this, because I have so many other cool knives to check out. But this one is definitely going to be, you know, getting a nice place in the rotation. So, but yeah, guys, that was my unboxing. I apologize, it was a little bit longer, but I did have a couple packages to unbox. You guys know, a little bit of yapping, a little bit of chit-chatting. But again, full reviews will be coming out on all of these in the next coming weeks. Leave a comment down below what your guys' thoughts are on the 3 different models. And yeah, guys, so thank you guys again so much for watching. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your morning, evening, night, day, whenever you're watching this. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.